All right, guys. Hello and welcome to the LFGS Summer 2022 semifinals here. I am going to do this one solo, and the reason I'm doing it solo is, unfortunately, if you haven't heard the sad news, I did not actually get the match recorded when I watched this live with Frost on Wednesday. So that sucks. Like, that really sucks. It's okay. I'm just going to watch the replay viewer and I'm going to kind of redo it. So that's kind of the plan. Here we are on Nepal, round one, and we'll start it here in just a second. All right. This is Syntro 6 versus Topaz Titans. And we have Syntro 6 in blue, Topaz Titans in red. And let's hit play and see how it goes. Now, right off the bat, it looks like both teams are going to be playing Brawl. It looks like Syntro 6 looking to play a sort of the Mei version of Brawl, whereas we're getting... Okay, I didn't know if Robo was going to stay on that hero or not. Okay, we do have sound. Good. Just making sure.
2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Okay, we get a TP from Topaz Titans and a TP from Syntro Titans, but it looks like Topaz might be getting here just a little bit sooner. Yeah, it looks like they're going to get there a little bit sooner. Water going to get kind of a little bit on point here. And Topaz Titans definitely has control, and they've already killed 2. That is a really, actually, an insanely fast shatter from Kazi, able to get a couple down, but I think it was more of an ego shatter. It was like, ha, look, I've got shatter. Yeah, because it wasn't able to actually convert it into anything. And now Topaz Titans going to push Syntro 6 back into the choke here. Looking like they've got window ready ready to boot. And Syntro 6 is going to have to gather up. They don't want to peek too hard here. Although they also want to probably teleport onto the top of high ground here. Considering, like, if you're playing Brawl, you definitely just want to TP to point here. You want to get to on top of the enemy team with as many resources as possible. So I'm imagining I'm going to see a TP here. Critic's looking for it. He does find a TP onto the top. And it looks like a few drop. And okay, with a few dropping ahead of time there, it kind of forces the rest of Syntro 6 to drop. It is okay. They're going to take advantage of the situation with the window fire strike. Not able to find anything. They're going to wall off the enemy team. Syntro 6 is kind of on the back foot here, not really able to get that foothold on point. That sim wall from Topaz Titans really actually doing a lot of work in keeping the Syntro 6 off the point. Although that was a big 4-person shatter from Kazi. Not a lot of follow-up, and it looks like Kazi actually stuck inside of the wall there, not able to do anything. Kind of an interesting little scenario. And now, okay, this is a beat coming in from both sides, but Topaz Titans, again, kind of just has the advantage in this. NT Blackout just looking to get out as quick as possible. Critic looking to just not die here, and it looks like Critic is going to stay alive. Looking at the ult situation here, I think that Syntro 6 has a little bit of an ult advantage, although Zeke is coming up on that wall again. That wall was very effective last time. We're going to have to find some way... Okay, are they going to TP... Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, TP across coast. They're going to get walled off on one side, go through the other side, bomb on point. Shatter hits the whole team. Water gets everyone. It looks like... Yeah, it looks like Syntro 6, I think they had a great approach there, but I don't think they've got enough. Yeah, unfortunately, just not all quite timed as perfectly as they'd wanted it to be. Water coming in clutch with that 4-person shatter behind the D.Va Bomb. D.Va Bomb was sitting there looking to try to open up the play for the Syntro 6, but not going to happen when you're tailed behind by Water's gigantic shatter. Okay. So on Nepal Shrine in the past, I've seen Topaz Titans play this ball comp, and I think that Sinister Six has probably seen this ball comp come up here and there just a little bit. and wants to play a ball comp of their own. They're not going to get suckered into playing Brawl on the Shrine
Capture the objective.
against the ball comp. Both teams are going to TP over the ledge. It looks like Water is going to make it to the point faster than Kazi, but isn't going to actually stay on the point for too long. Now, Sintra 6 definitely has point control here, but I like all of the angles that Topaz has. Kazi, what? Oh, Kazi almost fell off the edge. Managed to get himself back up, and then immediately gets slept. And Brig is just going to take care of that ball.
The objective is now
Sintra 6 is not... They're playing too close together for a ball comp, and unfortunately not really utilizing as many angles as they probably should. And so Topaz Titan's able to just kind of overwhelm them with a redundancy of range pressure angles there. Too many angles for Sinister 6 to deal with, and forces Sinister 6 off the point, not even letting them get a cap. Pretty aggressive stagger there on Kazi with the sleep dart. Good play by Hyderbush. They're gathering up on top. Okay, so this is going to be rough because Water is coming pretty close here to Minefield. Not exactly having it right now, but he can certainly build it. And if they get caught out with a Minefield, that's going to look pretty bad for them. Zeke in the backline here just kind of really... Okay, turning on... Oh, well, not doing quite as much now.
upgrade detected.
We're going to nano into Robo 2 rocks. Watch this. Managed to pick off both people in the back line. Looking for a third. Holds the duplicate. Okay, so we still have duplicate from Robo. We still have Pulse Bomb. We have now Mines available. Rally is going to be coming online here pretty soon. A pretty steep ultimate advantage in favor of the Topaz Titans here. This is a massive mountain to overcome for Sindra 6. It's going to be really tough. Looks like Kazi has Mines, though. Could maybe force point. If he can get a good grapple, maybe he can, like, Mind Slam the back line here. But let's go back a second here. This is the benefit of being able to look at it in a replay viewer. Go back just a moment here and just watch this play from Zeke. Okay, I missed the play. Just a second here. Sorry, unprofessional caster. Okay, so while I was off the side there, Zeke came along the side here, got a massive pulse onto the Brig. And what's so powerful about that is that the Sindra 6 did not expect to have a Tracer playing right in that little corner there. And it made a big problem for the Sindra 6 trying to get back to point. The kill box was just a little bit further forward than they had expected. Now, Kazi going to be able to make it to point here. Although Water is on the back line as well. Are we going to see a minefield from Kazi? Unfortunately, Kazi's down. No minefield to come through. Dub going to go for the lift. Not going to find anyone, but it's okay. Because this team's pretty much got it.
Victory.
That's going to be game one for the Topaz Titans. All right. Moving on to the next one. Not view. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Oh, it's one of my ones that already exist. I think it's this one. Not available in... Oh, okay, I see. This one?
Traveling to icon ready.
Yes, it is. Okay. All right, now we're looking at Icon World here. Sister 6 is going to be playing a sort of modified double shield where they don't play the doubled shield. They just play like a single shield, dropping the what's usually an Ashe and a Sig and like a Mercy, and instead playing these sort of counter dive heroes. We're seeing Torb, D.Va, and Brig. This is going to make for a pretty strong anti-dive comp from Sintra 6 here. I guess they're expecting a dive comp from the Topaz Titans.
5, 4,
Water knows why I'm focusing on him here. Because the funny happens, I believe. No. No, no. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, so I remember that from when I first watched it. Unfortunate for Water. Kind of just falls into the pit there. Not quite the grapple you were looking for. As a result, Topaz gonna kind of stall their first little push here. Nothing's really happened yet. Now, they're aware they're playing the anti-dive. They're still staying on the dive here from Topaz Titans. Ball looking to get a nice angle here. Zeke kind of coming around the corner. A lot of angles now being pressured on the Sinister Six here, coming from every direction. You got Genji and Doom in, Monkey in with the bubble, and the slam comes down. Moo is half health. Looks like Sinister Six having a hard time actually kind of holding point presence here. About to give a tick to the Topaz Titans. Well, not quite. They were able to hold it. Now with Zeke down and with Genji down, it's pretty good stabilization for Sinister Six here. I don't think that Topaz is going to be able to like push into this point until they get the respawns. Water just chilling on coast. They don't actually know that Water's there, or they're not willing to deal with it. Water getting some good scouting information. Now this is crazy. Look at this rotation from Zeke. Zeke saying, you know what? I'm going to just act like I'm on defense. I'm going to go all the way up to this little spot up here and go for the rollout. And they're all waiting for this. Like, everyone on Topaz Titans is waiting for this call. Here it is. And he gets a massive, humongous E. That is huge. Actually, a huge play coming from Zeke there to set up that dive for the team. Really good shit. Okay, and with that really stupendous, awesome, hilarious play, they're able to actually get point 1. And now, Topaz Titans looking to take control of Castle as quick as possible, which is exactly what they should do. Sinister Six also trying to get some control of Castle here. Robo has Blade. We're going to see how he uses it here. There's a potential Nano Blade coming from the Topaz Titans, and I'm excited to kind of see it. That's huge. Really well played from the Topaz Titans there. I don't know that the Topaz Titans really needed to use Winston ult there. And if they did use Doom ult, I'm not sure if they actually used it that fight. But if they did, probably a little bit over ulting, but otherwise still pretty solid rotations there from Topaz Titans. Sinister Six coming out of the gate here, seeing what the kind of foothold they can get. Xenax slept immediately straight outside the gate. They're going to throw mines inside the little chamber there. Going to make it really hard for Sinister Six to get through the door. Xenax going to go down here after getting purpled and stagnated from the rest of his team. And Topaz Titans willing to push through this door to hold them alpha point. They don't want them touching point at all. Although I don't know if you can stop them. If they're going to commit rally, they're certainly going to come outside. No, that's very interesting. Okay, so we're still going to walk outside despite it. I don't know what you can do here as Topaz Titans. You can't just make an immediate push. You have to wait for this rally to be over, which now it is over. And we're now also seeing another Nano Blade potentially coming in from the Topaz Titans. We got a big pound. Hit like 6 people with that pound. That's really good from Water. So many ults being used here. Wow. Great stuff coming from Robo2Rocks. Managing to pick 4 people off during that fight. Another lots of ults being used there. Sinister Six kind of coming off the back foot here. Really needs to use ults to make a play. Those mines blocking their way through. Not going to stop Xenax. Going to kind of just clear through them. And here, Torb probably going to be ulting on points. Trying to get him off points as much as possible. Mercury trying to use Rally to stay up live as much as possible. And Critic going to get some key picks that is going to stabilize this point. And finally, get the kind of fight when they need for Sinister Six to like regroup their minds and come back in this game. I wonder what is actually going through the minds of Sinister Six right now. Because they are... I think, okay, this is the first time where they might have somewhat close to ult parity, but only because Topaz Titans switched comps a little bit, so they're on some new heroes. Kazi also swapped over to the Zarya, which is kind of interesting. I think maybe he was trying to expect them to continue playing dive. Mu actually on a pretty awesome position up there, drops the window, and Robo goes for the blade. It's a bear blade this time, but still could be effective, although NT Blackout kind of counters the blade with the rally. Okay, the rally is still happening. Essential 6, I think, really has a lot of point control right now. Topaz Titans just completely running out of resources, really running their resources dry here, and kind of causing them to feed a couple of bodies they didn't really have to feed there. But good cleanup from Syndra 6. Okay, and then so Syndra 6 going to have just kind of down to Torble and the Supercharger here. Supercharger could win this fight. And we're probably going to see a pretty early window from Hide and Bush to get things started off here. Window Fire Strike could go huge. There's the window, immediately met with a wall from their own Mei. Kind of nomboed a little bit there. Zeke wants to go straight in. Gonna immediately just kill that Supercharger. He just trades Meteor Strike for Supercharger, which actually, that's not too bad of a trade, honestly. That's a massive wall. Able to get Water straight up on top of them. Water looking for Shatter. Finds one NT Blackout, and they're able to follow up on that kill. That's really good for Topaz Titans. Mu just trying to stay on the high ground outside of reach. This is a really good spot for Mu to be sitting in. They get grabbed, but it's just met with a lamp. Hide and Bush goes top to the high ground there, duels Mu and takes Mu out, unfortunately. And then Critic trying to touch point as much as possible. Syndra 6 just barely staying alive here. The spin to win actually could get the respawns in. Now Kazi's able to touch there. We're able to get Xenak to ground pound on top of the window, which is a common play for Ball to make. And now, with all these respawns coming in from Syndra 6, this looks very winnable for the Syndra 6 here. Oh, a couple of really key picks, though, coming out from Topaz Titans. They're able to pick off a few, and the Blizzard is going to make it really hard for them to touch. NT Blackout rallying on point, trying to stay on as much as possible, shave as much time off the clock as they can, and they're able to get it down to 16 seconds, which is actually really impressive with how much it took for them to come back from those several fight losses in a row. They went from being deep in the losses on ult advantage to kind of just winning 3 fights in a row on defense, getting that clock all the way down to just a measly 16 seconds. All right, so are we going to run it back? Are we going to play the same comps, or are we going to switch it up? I actually don't remember what happens here. Let's see. Is Syndra 6 going to come out on some weird stuff? Certainly you're going to be switched off some of that. And Topaz Titans going to play the Ball Diva comp with Doom Echo, Mercy Ana.
Incoming in 30 seconds.
Okay. Interesting. So this is not a whole lot of backline defense for the Topaz Titans, opting to run the Mercy to try to hold, to just claim the skies, I suppose. Not really opting to play the Lucio the Brig to protect Ana. So it's going to be on Rub the Dub to protect that Ana for the team. If the enemy team's going to try to be diving the Ana. Ninja 6 going for a somewhat similar comp, actually. Quite similar. Rub the Dub actually was kind of late to that fight, but it's going to be fine for them. It's going to work out because Rub the Dub just happens to meet Kazi on point at that moment. Clockwork's going to try to rotate all the way into the very back, and I love this strategy. It's a strategy my team does pretty often, actually. Clockwork's really shoving Hide and Bush into the Lodge there, but they're able to peel and kill the Pharmacy. So there's no more Pharmacy on Syndra 6 side in the back of Lodge. really on Central 6 here to not die. Just trying to stay alive as long as possible. Water looking for a pound. But he's seen by Kazi. Are they going to call it out? Are they going to actually follow up and try to kill Water? Not. Water's able to get away. Water's going to try to force point here and see what he can do to get Sinister Six some space on point. Trying to draw attention out. And it does kind of work, and it looks like Sinister Six is going to take a nice rotation through Coast. Although leaving NT Blackout kind of on the computer room. Unfortunately, Kazi and Clockwork's going to be going down here, and with 2 down, Sinister Six is going to have to pull out of the fight. Now, they are able to get the res onto Clockworks, except they've also lost Ana, and now they've lost Mercy. So there's no healers left in play for the Sinister Six here. Topaz is just kind of cleaning everyone up. It's really on the Sinister Six at this point to get the regroup that you need. Is Zenek looking for a remake kill? Yeah. That's very risky going for the remake kill like that. Zeke trying everything he can to keep Zenek in that room. Not able to do it. Eventually punches Zenek out. Goes for the Meteor Strike. Trying to find NT Blackout. But is going to find NT Blackout. So they're able to kill the Ana again. And Robo is going to kill Clockworks. We're going to commit a Diva Bomb from the Sinister Six. So probably not what you wanted to do there. Unfortunate that had to happen. With only 1:44 seconds left on the clock, we're looking at probably some ult advantage in favor of... it's about even, actually, on ult advantage. If we can just get like a minefield on point, though, with a lot of follow-up, it's going to be great. Now, Critic going down there, not ideal, obviously. Zeke taking out Critic before the fighting begins, not what you want to see from the Sinister Six side. Like, you really still want to kind of regroup a little bit here and just go for some spam, which is exactly what they're going to do. Fortunately, Mercy going to also go down. They're going to throw a Diva Bomb. That's actually big value for the Sinister Six side because they're able to get Diva Bomb like kind of outside of a fight. And despite the fight not actually being 6v6, Kazi is going to put the minefield on the point, kind of forcing the point here a little bit. Opening up a lot of space, actually, for the Sinister Six to kind of just find their way back to the fight on their own, trickling themselves back in. And now what we're looking at is about a 6v5 in favor of Sinister Six. Mercury trying to hold the team alive with Valkyrie, and it's just not able to heal everyone up. Zenak able to kill Robo 2 rocks. And Mercury finally goes down to Clockworks. Heidenbush using Nano on Water as a last-ditch effort to keep the point alive. But Water does get anti-nated, and that is going to probably... Yeah, that's going to be it for Water. Unfortunately, Zeke there definitely should not have committed to that. Now, every single life they put on the point at this point from Topaz is just fading. So, Sinister Six is able to finally take that, and that was really scrappy, a really weird, interesting fight. It was able to get it done. Now, notice, by the way, that Topaz Titans already pretty much has control of this castle, and so this is going to be a monumental effort. It could happen, though, with Barrage. Barrage might be the way that Sinister Six kind of, like, enters into this. That might be the way that they kind of push into this. Robo getting really close to killing Moo there. That was kind of scary for the Mercy player of the Sinister Six. Heidenbush in a... Oh, my. I'm going to go back just a second here. Hold on. Let's see the sleep. What an incredible sleep from Heidenbush. Wow. Huge play. Heidenbush goes freaking hard on the flex support. Getting a lot of good card progress here, and with this card progress coming around the first corner is kind of usually when you expect the fight to actually begin, which is, as you now see, where all the ults are coming out. Zeke ulting onto the high ground there, not sure that he needed to do that. Gets slept immediately by NT Blackout. A lot of freaking good sleeps here. Sorry, I just like to watch these sleeps. Okay, it was a pretty normal sleep. It seemed way cooler from the view up here. Clockworks now is Barrage, but again, it's still really scrappy. They're kind of just... They want to play this a little bit slowly. Yeah, because they're just taking deaths. Zenek's still trying to push the cart here, but it's just not going to happen. And at some point, you do have to just call the regroup. Control the regroup. Play a little bit more reserved and see if the enemy team will do something overextendy and then punish them for it. Now, that's a massive minefield, actually, kind of cutting off Heidenbush from being able to go onto that middle high ground. The Nano Doomfist is actually going to do a whole lot, except that the Doomfist kind of just focused on a D.Va. And now we have a another Nano boost onto Xenak. Rub-a-dub goes for a bomb. Not able to find anything. Clockwork's really low, but still holding on to Barrage here. Got to find some way to use that Barrage to cut through all these defenses. Been holding on to Barrage there for quite some time, if I remember correctly. Xenak able to kill Heidenbush, and it's still not a whole lot of regrouping here. It's just definitely kind of each team trickling their people back into the fight. Now Water with a minefield in the back. Kazi's just going to do a counter slam. Get rid of as many of those mines as possible. As Clockwork's going to take down Mercury on point. Zeke going to try to meteor strike the point. Not able to find. Oh, actually is able to find both healers. That was way bigger than I thought it was. Critic going low. Does fall down. Just tanks on point from Synergy 6 here. Kind of lost everyone else. Kazi going to try to spin the win as much as possible. But it's going to be tough now, especially with the minefield. Yeah, you're going to go down immediately. NT Blackout not able to find the way to point. And that is going to be Eichenwald in favor of the Topaz Titans. So that actually was that wasn't too far off. That was pretty close. I think it was also a good map pick by Synergy 6 to choose that map on Eichenwald, because that is the one map that Topaz has actually lost that we've seen in the feature matches so far. And so good on them to try to pick at that weakness, and maybe they can find another way into this match. But now we're gonna move on to Rialto, one of my favorite maps. Looking at Synergy 6, it looks like we've got a Ball Hog comp, Tracer Echo on a Mercy, another fun one. Again, this one not a whole lot of like backline peel. So what they're really hoping for is that their NT Blackout isn't going to get that much pressure being put on them. Whereas we're getting like pretty much like a full dive with a sniper coming from Topaz Titans. Look at Kazi and Clockworks, an absolute unit here on the side here, just trying to control this lane, make sure no one comes here, looking for some blood. Not able to find anything. They actually just get scouted out immediately. Riddick going down early there from a Widow headshot from Zeke. And with that, and it looks like Synergy 6 is going to have to kind of just back up a little bit. And Water's going to take down Clockworks, trying to live a little bit too dangerously there in the back line. Definitely way too deep. Now, space is way in favor of the Topaz Titans, because it looks like Synergy 6 on the back foot and just caught in open space here. Not what you want to, not where you want to be. Although a great hook from Xenak, able to find Robo down main, and now with Xenak on point here as Hog, you think it's a lot of health, but not with the Discord. Unfortunately, you only have an effective 450 health when you're discorded as Hog. Not quite the 600 you expected you'd have. Water, nice little slam there, able to get a couple and drops the minefield. It's a pretty early minefield here. Moo on the Mercy is trying to keep her team alive as much as possible with this Valkyrie. It does look like it's actually stabilizing quite well after they also commit the whole Hog. But they are losing a lot of numbers here. It's hard to say who's in the lead, and it looks like Zeke with his 2 kills, though, is probably going to be the clinch. I don't know. No. It looks like we got a bunch more kills from Synergy 6. That was sick on both sides. Really crazy fight. Do they know that Water's sitting there? I think they might hear Water, but there's no way for Tracer to like. You can't do any blink tech up there, so you just got to like actually just go up there manually. Water gonna steal that Mega. Now hanging out with Heidenbush over here. We're going for a slam here, trying to find something. Pulse isn't able to find anything. Clockwork's recalling back to the other side of this ledge. Robo looking for a blade, perhaps. We're gonna take a look at him here. See if we can find a blade. Maybe not gonna be using it. No, there it is. Find a blade, trying to look for that Mercy as much as possible. And we don't have our dash. Oh. We're able to kill the Mercy there. That's all the value we're able to find on the blade, unfortunately, because the dash was not able to get the kill from the initial dash. Still, though, Topaz Titans cleaned up that fight. Critic looking really low here. Dies to a Shuriken. That was a really good Shuriken from Robo. Robo also going for the Mercy in the air. Showing this Echo Mercy that he can also fly in the air and cause, like, air pressure somehow. Rub with a nice jump all the way over. And, oh, almost takes a drink. Able to jump back up off the boat and onto the land. Now we're going up top here with the Topaz Titans back line. We have a lot of ults actually from both teams, but a lot especially from Topaz Titans. Zenak going for the hook, doesn't find anything, gets antied out, zoned out. Zeke gonna die in the background. Background in the back line to Central Six's dive. Yeah, and it looks like these are a lot of clean kills. I think actually coming from both teams, but it looks like Topaz Titans is actually going to be on top. Robodub going down to almost 0, but staying alive just barely. Again, a lot of ults still from both sides. We got at least 3 or 4. Actually coming up on 5 ults from Central 6. Let's see how they use this. That's going to be a massive minefield impound on top of NT Blackout. Lands on a bomb, and that's NT Blackout down. Moo is in the air with Valk, and so we may be able to hold here as long as possible, but Clockworks is also down, so it's 6v4 in favor of Topaz Titans. Topaz Titans also has the high ground position. Zeke's gonna hold this high ground as much as possible. There's no way for Central 6 to get up there with that minefield. Zenak gets slept out of the ult. Unfortunate for the Roadhog player. We're gonna get another ball on the field as Critic copies ball. And he gets nanoed. Interesting little combo there. Zeke takes Clockwork out on the off angle. Critic able to actually get a minefield before uncopying there. But the minefield in such an awkward spot, not really able to find any value. Zenak kind of maybe being caught out of position here. He's discorded and has to push way back. Kazi trying to touch as much as possible. Kazi going down to the Discord orb. Mercury looking really low, but gets healed up by Ana. And Cinder 6 actually trying to get a foothold back here on point, and they've got 5 people here, and so this is definitely a real fight actually happening. And with a couple picks, actually, this is their game to lose at this point. Or I should say their point to lose, not their game. Yeah, Clockworks is going to recall out of that, not going to die. That's awesome for him. And at this point, I mean, if you're Topaz, you stay on it, or do you just kind of regroup because... Oh, I'm okay. Whoa. It was almost a C9. Cart is 0.01 meters left. Oh my god, the cart can just be pushed. The cart is so close. The Topaz Titans does a Zoom Yada back into point. Zeke probably going to come up to the high ground here and ult. Never mind, just going to die to Whole Hog. Whole Hog going to push a bunch of people off the point, get a bunch of kills. Nice rally, nice Whole Hog from Sinister 6, able to take down that fight pretty clean. Now, the idea though here is that they're going to have to put one person on point, and everyone else really needs to hold this high ground. Like, Critic, they really want to put Critic on high ground, but it looks like their different strategy is to put a bunch of people on point. They're really afraid of doing anything wrong on point. And that might be their downfall, because look at Topaz Titans. They're just going to Nanovisor from the high ground. Like, what can you do about this? You gave up too much point to allow Topaz Titans to be up here just because you were afraid of the C9, when in actuality, this was the bigger threat. Being able to have the power position for free, and they're going to convert that into a 0.2 cap, and also take as much space forward as possible. Clockwork's trying not to die as much as possible here, but unfortunately does get staggered. Zenak gets hacked. Might actually die as well, but is able to find some natural cover there. Still, if you're Zenak, you're still looking to play to live here. Critic, looking for an opportune time to maybe use Attack Visor at some point, but isn't going to be able to do the same thing as Topaz Titans is, because they don't have Ana. So there's no Nanovisor in potential. Now, Critic gets hacked. Killed in the backline. No Tac Visors going to be found here. Zenak also found way out of position. Totally isolated. Gets hacked and killed. This is a lot of nice micro isolations coming from Topaz Titans, able to find these little isolated targets and hack them and kill them. Now Clockworks gets hacked as well and dies as May. And it looks like they're pushing huge onto the spawn door. Critic finally finds an opportunity to use the tack visor, gets EMP'd and dies immediately. Kazi hacked on point, gets killed immediately. This Primal is really difficult for the Syndra 6 to deal with because they're trying to stick together. They're trying to have a point presence, but Rub the Dub is just pushing them away from their own teammates and creating all the isolations that his team needs to just win the game.
Score 0-3. Switching sides.
Really, like, honestly, really good performance coming from Topaz Titans there.
Initiating.
They're able to find all the isolations and actually capitalize on them, so it clearly shows that their communication is really on point. All right. Now, how is Sinister Six going to change their game here on the attack?
Ready for battle.
We're going to get double shield from Topaz Titans. Now, double shield can be really dominant on Rialto defense. Being able to hold that high ground on the top is pretty darn strong with double shield. If you're able to get your Ashe on a certain angle up here and get a nice little lane of spam happening, especially with the soldier as well and the Baptiste, it's kind of just hard to walk anywhere as the attacking team.
5, 4.
Really making it hard on them. The attacking team gonna run out with no shields, and that is going to be tough. So as long as Sinister Six takes off angles, and runs everyone off of main, they should be fine. It looks like we got a good start here. Kazi gets a nice boop, pushing Rub the Dub off the high ground, which is exactly what their win condition was, is to boop somebody off the high ground and then isolate and kill him. Zeke does get a dynamite kill on Critic. Kazi kind of maybe overstating his welcome up there a little bit, except he does actually knock down Water. Water goes off the edge, and that's a massive boop from Clockworks, knocking everyone off of the high ground. Although Clockworks, or Robo 2 Rock, sorry, might be living rent-free in this back line, gets discorded in the hallway, unfortunately dies to Clockworks. And now, the double shield comp doesn't even have the high ground anymore. It's just caught out in the middle of open space here, which means they should be losing, at least on paper, which it looks like they are. Mercury going really low here, gets discorded, trying to find any amount of cover that Mercury can. Gets all the way in the back lane, but then dives a little forward, and that little last GA there kind of killed you. Unfortunately. So nice hook, actually crazy good hook from Xenak there, able to find that pick from on Water. Don't let him get away there, stabilized anyway. A lot of huge pressure going all the way to like the second phase of point 2, but as soon as they see sort of the regroups happening in the high ground disadvantage against them, they are going to kind of pull off here. That is actually a crazy little play from Kazi, able to pendulum all the way up to the top there, minefield, and slam that point. He knew they were standing there. The smart player that Kazi is. Hawkworks able to find a rocket punch onto Robo 2 Rocks there, continuing the staggers. This is crazy coming from Sinister Six. Like, the momentum is actually just insane. Mercury now discorded, about to go down. Mercury goes down, and they throw a Bob on point. Bob gets discorded, and they're just going to melt this Bob. This Bob doesn't last very long and immediately has to go away. Now, Water in the backline trying to find a kill on Moo if they can. Moo kind of isolated, does have rally, isn't able to use it, and that's going to be enough kills to push the Sinister Six back and stabilize this point for the Topaz Titans. But it took them the entire point B to finally stabilize that point. I mean, that pressure from Sinister Six was probably some of the best pressure I have ever seen Sinister Six push out, especially against the Topaz Titans. So that was some excellent play from the Sinister Six there. Okay. So if you're on Sinister Six's side here, like, Zenyatta, you do not want to bring Zenyatta across that bridge. Mainly because you're still regrouping, and this is like the main part of the map that it's just really hard, really attrition-y. Like, you just have to use so many resources to get across the bridge, and you don't want to find yourself isolated. And that's kind of what sort of happens here. So they're still looking at only 4 on left side of point for Sinister Six, while the other 2 are kind of just being caught out and attention traded with water here, creating a pretty bad situation on point here. No value to be had. Yeah, and so by the time we're actually able to get the team across, the fight's kind of already over. Ash already kind of just killed everyone. Moo going to try to rally here to see what kind of value can be had. Rubida maybe out of position there just for a moment. Is able to find a way back to the high ground. Zeke and Discorded kind of zoned out just a little bit. But Zeke still on the high ground. Forcing trans there was a big play. Now Zeke can throw the bob on the point, or down there on the bottom at least, among the minefield. You're not going to be able to kill this bob very easily if you're Sinister Six, just in a too awkward of a spot. And all your positioning altogether is just really awkward. Like Zeke just has a line of sight on NT Black out there. There's no shields. There's no way you're getting up to the top. Like someone's got to deal with Zeke up there. No one's dealing with Zeke. Yeah. So just getting caught out in the wrong spot at a pretty bad time there for Sinister Six. Not the sort of the rotation you want, not like the timing you want. So here, this is much closer to what you actually do want. Getting a nice regroup. Critic kind of just on the flank here, although did give away his position. Unfortunately, they were able to find him. Water trying to stagger their reapproach as much as possible, and is kind of doing a good job. Because if you look here, Water is turning quite a lot of attention, and it's sort of causing a really staggered approach from Sinister Six. They're all like really far apart and looking like they want to engage at different times. And now Robo 2 Rocks actually gets a great opportunity to go in for that blade, but is actually going to get peeled for immediately. So no kills from that. However, Sinister Six is still pretty far down. Again, this staggered approach not working for them. They're just trying to find like some way in, some pick, I suppose. But there's just not enough people able to go to high ground. And there's a lot of commitment on this, given the fact that Briggs in and just can't be part of the fight there. They are able to find some picks. That's 2 down from both sides. 4v4 now on point. Or 3v4 actually, because Water's just looking for some intention trading stuff. Although coming now back from behind. A window here, going to create a lot of space for Topaz Titans. Probably going to push them back quite a lot. Actually, just like pushing them forward into the window and then minefield is like a pretty big move there from Water. Zenak trying to push everyone off with the whole hog. See how much space he can make with it. Not actually able to find too much there. And now it's just a 6v4 on point in favor of Topaz Titans. I mean, if you're Sinister Six, again, you're just kind of like in a bad spot without high ground. There's not much you can do here. I mean, this is just death. And now you've lost 2 more. Oops. Did not mean to do that.
30 seconds.
So, yeah. Still, again, I mean, it's like you got to regroup or die on point at this point. So we are able to get most of the people here. Zen still isn't a part of it. So Zen might be just zoom yachting back to the team. Actually is not going to, unfortunately. Moo does fall down to the blade. Genji is able to take down Zen as well. 1 second left on the clock. If that is going to be probably it for Sinister Six, it'd take a miracle for Zenak to win this 1v6 right here. We're going to say probably not. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So with that, that is going to be the Topaz Titans going to win this round 3-0 over the Sinister Six. And they're going to move on to the finals, undefeated into the finals, I should say. Which means that if they lose their match in the finals, then they actually get to play in another finals, like a grand finals, if that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, I know this kind of turned into more of like a VOD review than it was more, because I've seen the match. It wasn't quite as exciting. It's also late at night, and so I guess my energy is a little bit lower. Kind of turned in more of a VOD review than like a really hype feature match. But I hope you still liked it. I hope it was still valuable. I'm glad I can at least get it out there and have something on the channel. And I will make sure that it's recording next time. I promise. I promise. All right. Y'all have a good night.